in there. I don't want no turkey anyway.
But it was Thanksgiving.
What?
It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, to you. To me, it's Thursday, right?
People come to Vegas to lose, so I did.
It's already over.
Ain't nothing over till it's over.
Was that from the 80s?
That's probably in the 70s.
You haven't peeked yet?
Peeked?
Yeah, peeked.
I don't know, there's still some stuff in the basement.
What basement?
In here.
Tell me about the stuff.
50. My God, we would be playing Eye of the Tiger right now
Right?
if it wasn't illegal on YouTube. Imagine, people, Eye of the Tiger
Yes.
blasting.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum,
Bum.
bum, 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 bum,
Perfect.
bum. Imagine that. Holy crap,
Wow.
Stacy.
That
Wow.
Timothy, wow, that is a Tim Wistard special once again. I was like getting emotional watching that.
I teared up. I did. I don't know if you could see. My eyes are still
The little watery.
quite a little watery there. Yeah, they are. See?
Get your tissues.
Yeah, no, I really I thought, okay, I'm gonna sit here, we'll watch Tim's another great video by Tim. And about 9 seconds in, oh wow. It's like George Costanza says.
Yeah.
If you put everything we've done, if you wrote it down on a piece of paper, it's decent. It's impressive.
Yeah.
All right. And I never thought I would ever be this committed to a podcast. 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Stacy, did you ever think we'd ever be this committed?
I wanted you to be. I'm more than happy to do this, for as long as people love it. But you've had other experiences with podcasts, and I'm just glad you stuck with it. And it, to me, I couldn't get over the sheer volume of guests and material, and then the way Tim put it all together that. I was like, wow, it's a lot. We've done a lot, and you don't really feel it week to week. But like you said, when you put it all together, and I just think, I don't want to, it's terrible to say, but I think we have a whole lot more heart than your previous attempt. And
I agree.
And I think it shows, you know what I mean? I think there's something more rocky, genuine about it. And I think that matters. People feel that for sure.
I would agree. And it's not easy.
Yeah.
Week after week. For the most part, we are week after week. Sometimes life happens.
Yeah.
Whether you have toe surgery,
right?
Whether you have kidney surgery, whether you're on a much deserved vacation, or if you're moving from
New Hampshire, Tennessee.
Yes. With those exceptions, we don't have seasons like we're going to do 20 episodes and then we'll take 6 months off, because I never wanted that. I don't like when podcasts have seasons. Mm-hmm. Go right through. Don't stop. Don't have an off season. Mm-hmm. You want to take 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off. Things are coming. Well, okay. I can understand that, but be consistent. That's the one. There's quite a lot of things I love about our little podcast here, but the one thing I do love is our consistency. And I think the people we've interviewed have driven us to maybe at times where we didn't feel like, oh, gotta do that podcast. I did 2 tours today or whatever, and I don't feel up to doing it. But and you do it. And we did, when we started this podcast, we did have another co-host with us who I think at 50, I'm not opposed at saying it was an interesting journey with our Anthony, our original the trifecta that we had. But, things happen and people just go separate ways. And, I still wish Anthony all the best in life. I hope he finds what it is he's looking for. But I still remember the skepticism when the two of you were talking to me quite early on.
Yes.
Still remember.
I know.
I know. But the both of you were right. The both of you were right. We all did have something to offer, and I think you and I are now carrying that on very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well. I think I really feel people love tuning in and watching what we bring to the table every week.
Yeah, for sure. And Anthony did so much to get us off the ground.
He did.
I learned the techie stuff later on, and he was 100% responsible for the techie stuff in the beginning. And I certainly have an appreciation for how hard he worked to get us off the ground and get us going. And as we always say, we wish him all the best.
Yeah, always.
And our guest, actually, we were trying to get a 50th guest.
We were
trying,
and it looked good. It really did. And the two the two people that they're still going to do the show.
Right.
It's just timing and it things happen in people's lives and it gets a little crazy. But rest assured, nothing has changed on that front. We still got some major heavy hitters coming here that I think you guys are going to love.
Yeah.
And but we'll definitely keep you guys up to date on that. And, so we're still good there. We're still good. Yeah. But Stacy and I were talking and we're talking, we're trying to get a hold of a couple of people, but a couple other people, it didn't work out. And so, Stacy, you had a brilliant idea. You said, why don't we just do a retrospective of where we've been, how we got here? And okay, you know what? That's it. Yeah. That I think that video that Tim put together shows just about everyone that we've had and over the show. And I forget how much. I don't forget. You forget in the day-to-day how, because so many things happen, you forget how profound some of those interviews were, how each and every one of their lives were affected profoundly by Rocky. How that this simple, broken down, past his prime boxer has inspired them through cancer or getting divorced, getting married, having family issues, children going through this, people passing away. I mean, so many obstacles, losing jobs. And you say, my God, we're not the only ones. Rocky has affected this planet of people. Stacy, we've had people from where? Where have we had people from?
Well, UK, from England, from Canada, and here, of course, in the US. And our furthest guest was Raminder from India. So, and I know I have someone on my list from Brazil.
Really?
We're trying to do. And then I have another gentleman in Greece, I believe it is. And we have to arrange for time zone issues. But yeah, we have somebody in Greece on the list too. So it's cool.
Isn't that something? Like I never thought we'd get anyone above like Elmer Fudd. I thought we would get like a Mr. Magoo, Elmer Fudd type person. Right. No one would be interested. Just there's a lot of Rocky podcasts out there and they're all quite lovely in their own right. But there's enough of the Rocky podcasts already. And that was one of my reasonings for my hesitations for doing this. And lo and behold, one person after another found us kind of interesting and agreed to be on here. And from all ages too, all age groups.
Yes. All age groups. What we had the Stallone kid and Paige, some very young people. It's so nice to see Rocky passed on. And I know for me, we all know, the message and the inspiration that Rocky has given generations. But I also wanted just regular people to be able to have their story be an inspiration to somebody, our cancer survivors, what other person watching is, what I'm saying, is going through chemo right now or a divorce or the loss of someone significant. You know what I mean? It could be. And I wanted to have our guests have the chance to tell their story. So whoever might be watching will be inspired by them. So you have the Rocky message plus 50 messages or 50 experiences of all these people. And I don't know about you. I come across posts sometimes on Instagram and it was like, oh, that was meant for me today. You know what I mean? Like it was no mistake that you came across a certain post or inspirational quote. I mean, I believe in all that stuff anyway. But you know what I mean? I was like, oh, and for example, if I can brag about this moment, Sue called me. So last week
she did.
Sue, this is literally one of I have no words for how much this meant to me, but she says we need to love out loud more. And so out of nowhere, Sue calls me and I was like, oh my God, Mike's in the hospital. He has another kidney stone. Like I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And so she just called and she said the most beautiful things to me about, thanking me for the podcast and thanking me for being good to you. And she just went on. And the timing of that was so it was just, I just want to thank her for that phone call and thank you, because you got on the phone call at the end. But she's like, we need to live out loud more, and we need to support each other, and we need to say these things. And I know all our guests, everyone feels the same. We do. We need to say how we feel to each other. And I don't know. I'm still, my head was spinning for an hour after I got off that phone call. I couldn't get over how kind that was, because we don't, you get a phone call when you're screwing up, or you're late on a bill, or you're, you know what I'm saying? Or when do you get phone calls like that? It was amazing. It was right. I was so grateful for that.
Yeah, no, I don't get them like that. Nobody calls me ever. But it's interesting, because I think, and I've noticed that about our guests, certainly about Sue. Whenever you go through something traumatic in life, I think you have a different appreciation. In Sue's case, when she had her aneurysm, and you have a 12-hour surgery where there is a life and death balance going on. Odds are in your favor, but not by much. And it's a scary thing. And I've picked that up. Larry Brem.
Yeah.
Okay. Larry comes to mind a lot. I do think of Larry, and I really, you know what? Sometimes I don't think I'm a good podcast host friend to people. Sometimes I randomly I will pick up the phone and just call people, whoever comes in front of my face. Yeah. And I'll do that, but I don't call everyone, because I'm not always thinking about everyone, because I am busy and so on. But sometimes Larry, there's something I really like about Larry. And, Larry was very open about his cancer diagnosis and everything he's going through. And he sent me a really cool picture the other day. He was at the shore, and there were palm trees in back of him, whatever. And he had the Rocky Files shirt on.
Yes.
And I just loved it. Yeah. And I'm sitting here now reflecting on that. And I sent some lame 3 words, "Way to go, champ," or "Looks great." And I go, what is wrong with you? How dare you say something so lame to this man?
Oh,
how dare you? So, Larry, I'm going to just try to be a little better friend, because you came and took the tour, and I do feel like we're friends. I do. And you really are such a open book. And I just, anyways, look for more calls. They may be drunken calls from me, but look for more calls, buddy. Okay. Be careful what you wish for.
Oh, I love Larry.
No,
yeah.
I do. I really love Larry, and his family's wonderful too.
Yeah.
And anyways, Larry, just keep punching, as we always say.
Yeah.
That's my God. There's nothing else you could do but keep doing that. And when you have someone like that who has, you stare at death and you say, okay, my choices are very limited on what I can do here.
Yeah.
And you do it, and you're surviving. It's okay. Kidney stones are not exactly a walk of death. They feel like they're a walk of death. Okay. And the preceding surgeries feel like it's a walk of death, but it's not. Okay. It's a mild inconvenience compared to what a lot of other people have to go through. But I will say, once my procedures were done, the sky was a little bluer. The music was a little more profound. I laughed a little bit more at a TV show I don't normally laugh at. And that's just my minuscule level. I wonder, my mother just went through some serious heart trauma. And I can't imagine how she must feel about certain things, or Larry or Sue with the brain trauma. Okay. So I when you go through trauma like this, I hear from all our guests and how strong they are and how they persevered. And that's the thing I get to hear on my tours, that I think you and I have done a brilliant job of bringing that here, an extension of the tours. We're fans. We are fans of Rocky. We are fans of these people who are fans of Rocky, and we just want to give them a moment to have a voice about their journey through life.
Right.
I find that so fantastic about people and their journeys. I love that. And if people, not everyone's willing to open up, and I certainly respect
that.
That.
Yeah.
But those who are, please please write us. We want more of your stories.
Yeah.
Our next 50 shows, we want more of your stories. We want great diversity, great ethnic diversity. Please,
yes.
Please write us. Forward this. Put this out there. The people that are watching us, please put it on your timeline so people can see it. We want that desperately. We want to continue to hear from people from around the world and other planets. Let's be serious.
Yeah, let's get the aliens.
Why not? Let's bring them in. I saw Bugs Bunny cartoons. I saw the Little Martian. I know they're out there. I saw Abbott and Costello.
Yeah. I think I had one fan it said that watching us, it sort of centers her. I think we have a lot of distractions. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch the news anymore because the news is nothing but, division and telling us what our differences are. And I think this podcast reminds us of what we all have in common.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And we all we want to be loved. We want to be validated. We want to be, you know what I'm saying? We want to feel like we serve. We want to be taken care of. We want to be included, all these things. And that is the same for everyone. And I think people feel that when they watch this.
I do.
But yes, I will say if we can, I'm looking at my calendar on the side. I have about 15. And if we got another 50 episodes, I need 35 more people. I have 15 in line right now.
Nice.
So I'm looking for 35 stories from everywhere, anywhere. I would love to, talk to people. There's a lot going on in Iran right now. Wouldn't it be amazing to speak to somebody from Iran or something?
Yeah.
That would be wow.
Yeah, and I've had people write me to take the tour from Iran, but of course they run up to a few obstacles or whatever. But people, they're very interested and they love Rocky there too. Yeah, it's remarkable. Listen, before we move on with the rest of the show, I want to do a shout out to Mike Ferrara, the Ferrara wedding. Okay.
Yes.
Just his girl, his wife. Now, these are two people I had the pleasure of getting to know on the tour.
Yes.
And then I ran into them at the November release of the director's cut of Rocky 4, where they will remember my humiliating story of how I got socially checked real quick on I'm a nobody on getting in. And you guys all remember that story. I'm standing around. Tony DeGennaro's there, a whole bunch of Mike and his good they're all there, and several other people that had taken the tour and that knew me. So Sue says, "Oh, they're starting to let people in."
Oh, yeah.
The big bodyguards, and they wouldn't let anybody in. I go,
yeah.
This guy's not affiliated with. He's not. He's just a Philly guy. Why? How's he get in? So I went over, and the bodyguards are like, "Back of the line, no, you can't." But I was leading the charge. Okay, they're going in. Hey, I'm the Rocky guy in Philly, and Sally invited me to the premiere all by me. And man, I got socially checked, and I saw Mike and Jess's face look at me, and Rivoli was there, and Robert, everybody was there. It was great. It was the most humiliating moment I had in quite some time. I was like, okay, I'll go to the back of the line. But anyways, so Mike and Jeff, they just had their wedding, Saturday, I guess, or Friday or Saturday it was.
Yeah.
And he sent us the clip, right? Or did you see it?
Yes, I saw it. I'll put it in right here.
Make a lot of noise for your bridegroom, Mr. and Mrs. Michael and Jessica from I was looking for a few more screamers than that. That's just round one.
I'm posting this, and who reposts it? Couldn't believe it. I was so happy for them. And, speaking of something to say, when you and I started, now I have the opportunity to make sure people are seen.
Yeah, I know.
I can't even, how did I get there? In a million years when we started this, I never imagined that. And now I'm now I know he's watching. And now these people who just want 3 seconds to say, I exist and thank you. I can put them up on a quick post. If he likes it, if he reposts it, talk about making someone's day. It makes their month, that they're going crazy.
It makes their life. Because that is a moment they will never, ever forget.
Yes.
I promise you. They will talk about that at dinners, at barbecues, at Christmas get-togethers, vacations. They will always bring up, oh my God, the Rocky Files podcast. There's these 2 people there, and Stacy posted it, and Sly saw it, and he put it on his stories. So for 24 hours, we were on Sylvester Stallone's channel, and that is one of the most beautiful things that we can do for people is get access.
Yes.
So Sly will say, look at that. Like, this is something very unique. And I love that fans do that. I know we have one, a good friend of ours, Jess Morelli. She has showed up in Philly. And it was a whole bunch of coincidences that went down. And John Rivley had an extra ticket to the November showing of the Rocky IV director's cut. And he invited her along. And John and I knew where Sly was going to be. And Jess throughout the day. And Jess Morelli, she had a gut feeling that he might show up at the Victor Cafe. And she had waited alongside the alleyway just on the hopes that she might see Sly. And she saw Sly. And they had a nice conversation. And then in a post the next day, awesome. Sly referenced the conversation he had with her.
Yes, I remember that. Yes. So
again, when I see Rocky fans doing this for each other, I think, wow, what we never would have imagined that Sly would have followed us and would be so interested enough to say, oh, okay, look at this. And because you're always worried he might roll his eyes. Oh God, another thing. Jesus, these people like that Bill Shatner on Saturday Night Live, when Shatner guest hosted a few years back, and he was one of the skits was that he goes to a Star Trek convention and everyone's dressed, and he goes, "Get a life, you people! Stop dressing like Klingons. Go out and do something." And sometimes I think Sly thinks that way, and maybe he does. He doesn't, but I think, does he? Like, I just but he's so nice to everyone. He gives everyone their moment with him because he understands so deeply what that means, what the takeaway will be, because he understands if you're cruel to someone, that will wreck a person. But if you give someone 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, that can lift someone up to such heights that, and it's such a simple thing to do. Now, you can't do it for everyone because you got millions of fans, but you can, whatever it is you can do, you do. And Sly is a living testament to that. So anyways,
so true. And we have our moments. I just want to show these real quick.
Yeah, please.
These were my posts when he followed us.
Oh, really? Do you have those?
I do. Hang on. Look at this one. And so we sent him out a big thank you. I think I levitated when I saw that. I was just so grateful.
Right.
You know? And then he reposted our video, which was so fun. So I just wanted to relive these a little bit. And
that
then
is so crazy.
His comment here made me so happy. Don't miss this incredible podcast. I will be joining on it in the near future. Keep punching Sylvester Stallone. Can't wait.
Yes. Told you people, it's legit.
It's real.
He's going to be here. He will be. But he's a little busy right now. Okay. So give him time. He'll be here. The man is true to his word. Trust me. I'm living proof. The man is true to his word. So, you know.
My guess is November, because he alluded to having lots to say, which all that lots to say, he has to wait until after a certain point. So that's my guess. But
I'm still working on my questions. I've gotten my questions from about 140. I'm down to about 48, of which I'll be lucky if I get to 5 with him. So, I know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to think. It's interesting because it's like, if we have him for an hour, maybe we can get this. If we have him for 20 minutes, what are the 3 questions we can ask? It depends on how long we have him. Oh
I know.
Goodness.
I know. Yeah. Speaking of how long people have each other, today is a little special day here at the Kunda house.
Yes.
I know by the time you people see this, it'll be like, Thursday. And so, I will have already had my 25th wedding anniversary. But today we've been together we've been married 25 years.
Yes.
We've been together 33 years.
Wow.
And I know I come across as this incredibly debonair, wonderful, perfect human that can do no wrong. I am so mentally busted. I've got so many hangups and issues. I did a really sweet video this morning, just letting people know what an inspired person Sue is to have to deal with all of my wackiness. But it's true, because it is not easy. I am sitting in a room that is a slice of my brain where everything is rocky. That is a very odd thing for a spouse to have to deal with for 33 years. And I mean, you guys follow me, and you know the depths that I go to. But you don't live it with me. You can turn it off, or you can scroll right by it. Sue cannot swipe.
Right.
She can't swipe 40 minutes.
No remote control on Mike.
There's no remote control. She's got to live it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are some pros to her working a 10-hour shift. She doesn't have to deal with this, because all this is a lot of work.
Well, she said it in her call, though. When she called me, she people haven't always been nice to you, or people haven't always,
True.
And we talked about, we just don't get that, because she says the heart that this man has, I think all the little things that you may or may not drive her crazy, knowing someone's heart is in the right place makes all those little foibles. You know what I'm saying? It's just the heart is the first thing, and you have that rocky heart, that pure intent, even if you have a bad day or an ugly moment. You know what I'm saying? Overall, you're a good human trying to do good things, and not everybody can say that.
I like to think the majority of me is a good human, but I'm definitely still a work in progress. I don't wish this on too many people, but she has found a way to weather the storms that have come. And, like I talked about earlier in that little video, it's marriage is sometimes marriage can be very, very easy, and sometimes it can be very, very difficult. Whether we create our own problems or outside problems create issues. And if more couples could just sort of stick together and say, okay, the problem's over there. It's not here. This is the team. We got to go attack that problem. It's over there. How are we going to do this together? And, compromise. Compromise is a big thing. It's a big thing in life with politics, with religion, and it's a big thing in marriages. And I think the more you can compromise and feel good about it, then that's the road you should take. So without me babbling anymore, here's a one more happy anniversary to Sue Kunda, who definitely deserves it.
Yeah, to both of you, happy anniversary. It does take work. And, I just want to reiterate one thing you said. You get in arguments, it becomes adversarial, and it's you against him or him against her. And we must be reading some of the same books, because because I was like, that's exactly it. Instead of us against each other, the problem is over here, and how are we going to team up? You know what I'm saying? To take care of this problem, instead of making it back and forth. And I think, God, I wish I had that thought in mind earlier in other relationships that I've had. You know what I mean? It's like, the problem is the problem, not you and I, and we got to tackle this together. I love that.
I think the French poet Lamont wrote that. But some people think he was a big dummy. So that's a reference to Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son.
Remember Sanford and Son?
I love Sanford
Lamont, you big dummy. Hey, Pops, why don't we try it this way? Shut up, dummy. I love Sanford and Son, and I found a way to segue out of this little romantic thing we were talking about, because this is the Rocky Files after all. This is not Mike's personal shout out battleground. So let's move on to something that has nothing to do with me. And actually, it does have something to do with me. I actually got a very rare new collectible just the other day. This thing is so fantastic. I love this. It is Gazzo's Cadillac.
Oh, I love that. That's
Look
so
at that.
Awesome.
1973 Cadillac Sedan DeVille. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. You got the little Rocky logo. It is from Greenlight Hollywood. There they go. On the back, they have a couple of pictures, a little description. I know it's hard to see. It's a little blurred. But if you check out Greenlight Hollywood, they will deliver this. There you go. He only had 130, but I think he's good for the rest next week, Mr. Gazzo. Sure, Rack. Bob's good for it. Pull over. I want to get out and talk to Rocky a minute. So how come you didn't break this guy's thumb like I told you? How do you know I didn't break the guy's thumb? Do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
How do you spell Del Rio? Look it up in the dictionary, Rack. Come on. I won't let that happen no more. About the thumb. Love that scene. You know, Stacy, that's the scene I fell in love with Rocky. It was that moment, because I was Rocky. I was always being mocked or put in my place or whatever. And you're just a little off center. You're not way off. You're just a little off, and you just can't fit in. And so anyways, that scene did it for me. Now, here's something I want to talk about. I hope Sly is aware of this stuff. I would love to. This is the type of stuff I want the Sly Stallone shop to carry. Now, they carry an amazing variety of stuff, and they're coming out. If they haven't already, they're coming out with the gold boxing glove chain from Rocky 5, an exact duplicate. They're coming out with the Aztec Thunderbird sweater.
Can't wait.
Right. Yeah. Right. This whole place stinks. Right. Yeah. My whole place stinks. Right. The whole legs are going. Everything's going. Nobody wants to know nothing. So that sweater, they're developing that. So I love this. Like, why can't they reach out to a car company, a miniature car company? Like, I have a great idea for the Stallone shop, Sly Stallone shop. They should do the Harley Davidson, the motorcycle.
Right.
Could you imagine a replica? Like, I don't know, maybe an 8-inch, I don't know, something like this. Not small, like too small. I don't want a Matchbox. But like something like 8, 9, 10 inches in this type of area. Are you kidding me? That would sell. I would put it right over there on my shelf in front of the Rocky statue. I mean, are you kidding? Like,
great idea.
Those are things I really wish they would do. And I'm sure they'll get there, but I'm sure they're probably even in pre-development. But I know they're working on those figures right now. And a good friend of our little podcast here, John Rivoli, has been doing the artwork for the releases of the Cobra and the First Blood, and he's working on the Rocky stuff coming up. And John's also had some serious input on the design of the face, because the one thing we see on a lot of these Rocky collectibles, about 90% of them are horrible. Horrible. There's a new one that's just come out. It's a Rocky 2 where he's standing. When it first came out, he looked off. His whole face was off. And a good friend of mine, Charlie, got it, and he sent me some pictures, and they did improve it from the original design. So it does look pretty good, but not good enough for me. I've only seen one Rocky figure out there, and that's the Blitzway, the one with Rocky 2 with him and Butkus. And he's got the spike collar on. It's the tiger jacket he's got. That's the only one that I would spend money on, and I did spend money on it. All the other ones, I don't think they're very good. Oh, there's one other one, and I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, and I apologize if he sees this. Edino Mahoya or Edino Mahoin. And anyways, he has done the Rocky 2 one where Rocky has the belt over his arms and he's all busted up. It's a complete model. It is brilliant. That's the only other one I've seen that I would put serious money in. I see a lot of these collectors online, and they collect all these statues, and they look horrible. I don't know why they want them. To me, they're wasting their money on it. It's a horrible design of Stallone, and Sly feels the same way. They're horrible.
They miss the face. You know what I mean?
Oh, the face is terrible.
They miss, and that's John Rivley nails it. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gets his expression, gets his eyes right, gets his mouth right, just gets his proportions. He nails his face. And so it's just, I know what you mean, because I've seen a lot, and I'm like, no, okay, just because he has brown hair doesn't mean it looks like Stallone.
Yeah, there's just something wrong. Sometimes they look like if it's a person who is, say, from Brazil, or they're from I don't know, it looks more like a Brazilian look to the person.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes.
Like I know one guy is from Peru. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do a particularly great job on his statues. Mm-hmm. The body looks fine, but the face looks like it's a Peruvian face.
Yeah.
So you say, okay, yeah, I guess that's Stallone or Rocky, but he's got a Peruvian tint to it.
That's a good point. That is a really good point. Yeah.
So, but now here's the weird thing. The girl who did the Blitzway statue that I have over here, I believe she was Korean.
Okay.
But she found a way to make it identical.
Wow.
Identical. Yeah. Nobody has, and I'm very astute at these things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what my garbage bill is, but I can tell you, I don't know what the water bill is or the electrical bill, but I can tell you a Stallone face is accurate or not.
Stallone.
Yes. And these people show off their collections, which I'm happy for them. If they're happy with it, okay, then they're happy with it. But I don't know, they say, that's just an identical look of Sly. No, it's not. I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm not looking at the same thing. I'm looking at the same thing, and it ain't the same, man. Somehow it gets not computed.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a few interesting followers that have been sending me, oh, I look just like Stallone. I'm his son. I'm like, oh, really? No,
I get that from people too. I don't know who you've been getting from, but some of the people that send me stuff, it's like, yeah, you look like Sylvester Stallone if Sylvester Stallone was born to like Polish people and he was disfigured. Right. Like that. Okay, I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I've made a career out of this Rocky thing, and I don't think I resemble Stallone. Okay, so I don't think not much. And if I don't think I resemble it, I'm a very hard critic when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
So, just be sure. Ask some people before you send me a picture telling me that you think you look like Sly.
Yeah.
Go to some people who will be honest. Don't ask your mother. Okay.
Right. It's interesting.
Yeah. Go ask someone who doesn't, like, no, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. I look like Sylvester.
That is definitely what it feels like. I'm like, oh, yes, I see it. Yes.
You have to say I look like Sly. I need it.
I know.
It's
interesting
funny.
characters.
I'm sorry to goof on people like that, but, sometimes they just have it coming because they get very, very pushy. Like with me, they'll send me 12, 13, 14 pictures until I write them back and I go, yep, real good. And I put a fist up.
Yeah.
What am I going to say?
I know. I know. I think we're hearing from the same person. We have to compare notes.
Well, we might be.
I think we're hearing from the same person. Like, oh, please stop.
I don't know. I don't know how these celebrities do it. I don't know how Sylvester has taken the high ground and been so great to his supporters, because some people are crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how Sly has done it. I really don't know. I mean, it's a skill. It's an acquired skill, and I clearly don't have it yet. I don't have it. I don't know. But stay tuned, everyone, because we really are going to have some great guests coming our way.
Yes.
And the guest list keeps growing. And if you know anyone that has a Rocky connection that would like to come on, tell them to let us know. We'll reach out to them. We really want to hear these Rocky stories. Yes. We do. We're not kidding. We really are open to anyone and everyone. Please send us this. We can only interview the people that write us,
right?
Or the people that take my tours. I just can't go around knocking on people's doors in my neighborhood. Believe me, I live in a very diverse, cultured neighborhood. Here, just in the suburbs of Philadelphia, very, very diverse all around me.
Right.
but it would be very weird to go around knocking on doors. Are you a Rocky fan? Would you like to talk on our podcast? It's strange. It's strange. Yeah. But at any rate, give us a call. Let us know. Yeah. Stacy, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming up with this idea of being a retrospective. I love it.
Yeah, it was fun. I just wanted to give a shout out to all our fans and our family. And that's why even on a day that I might be tired or not 100% in the mood, as they start talking, it's like, oh my God, this is such a great story every single time, every time. So, yep.
Yeah. Well, and one last thing I'll say, a lot of people don't know this. What Stacy and I have done for each other, we, when we realize we're not in the right mind space, we will send each other a funnygram, and we hire someone dressed up in like a chicken costume or like someone dressed up as like an avocado, and they would just tell jokes at our front door and they leave. Now this works, and we're going to put up on the screen in a moment here, we're going to put up the number of who we call for this service. They're really, really great. And they're based out of, hey, by the way, where are they based out of? We have a little shout out to where they're based out of.
Right.
Where are they based out of?
Ding dong.
Ding Dong, Texas. That's right. This is a true location. And we're going to put the company's name up here very shortly. They're based out of Ding Dong, Texas. And it is Laughgram USA. And they have global offices all over the world. And Stacy had turned me on to this. So I had sent my dad one time. He was feeling a little tired, a little low energy. And we had sent him a chicken with its head cut off. It showed up as a headless chicken. And we were asking, the joke was, who crossed the road? Who came first, the chicken or the egg? And then we went into a whole display of, no, let's just cut all that. That's horrible. Let's just cut that. Let's just stop somehow at Ding Dong, Texas. Anyways, people, Ding Dong, Texas, that's the place for this Laughgram company. And hey, listen, we're going to get out of here because we're out of things to talk about. We're rambling. You guys have been great. Stacy, where can people find you?
Everyone can find me on Instagram at HadMeAtYo, or at The Rocky Files, or on Facebook at The Rocky Files Podcast. And Michael.
And listen, let me ask you something. Is it true you were wild once?
Oh, yes.
Right?
I do. I have another one called You Were Wild Once, and that's more, just positive quotes of positive speakers, things like that. It's a little different.
I love that. I love that. Listen, I am on Instagram at the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour. You can check that out. I have a book out called Cue the Rocky Music, which get it now because you'll have it for the stocking stuffers. It fits perfectly into a stocking. Honestly, people will love it. There's not a lot of big words. It moves very quickly, 2-syllable words at the most, and you'll appreciate it. And there's a little thing behind me. Wait, go this. The Pretender. Okay. It's a little film that came out a few years ago. It's very inspirational. There it is. Sylvester Stallone is in this with me for a few moments, and you will get a kick out of it. By the way, that is me in the statue when I was 14 years old, the first time at the Rocky Steps. My parents didn't know what to get me for my birthday, so my mother took this picture. You'll notice I'm wearing a yellow shirt and the little tiny black shorts.
Shorts.
Yeah, they're those Nike Dolphin shorts that Rocky wears on the beach when he's running with Rocky or Apollo. Yeah. And I kept the color scheme. And so Jim Toscano, the director of The Pretender, he knew the dream is real. And when he saw this picture, he said, yes, we've got to use this. Yeah. So that is me. First time at the Rocky Steps.
Love that picture. Yeah.
Listen, Stacy, this has been awesome.
50.
Keep punching
Keep
people.
punching. Bye.